we seem at once to face a mountain of serious problems that need really serious, rational, reasoned thinking where data and evidence are important, but we're more factionalised, more atomised and more emotional than we've been for a very long time. There's a real problem here.
There is. When you put it that way, you compound my sense of pessimism, but I would not bet against America or the West. It's always been a losing bet in the past. Maybe the odds are closer to 50-50 now than they were in the past, but I certainly would not count us out. But what would it take to have a turnaround? We have a variety of trends that are not looking hopeful, and there's no sign that we have the capacity in our public lives, in our government, to address these trends, at least in my country. I was just in Scandinavia a year or two ago, and it was just so amazing to see these countries in which, when they have a problem, they convene people to work on it, and they come up with a solution, and then they implement the solution. I was like, wow, why can't we have this? And we can't have that in America in the coming decade or two, I would bet. So what are we going to do? Well, we have to rethink how we address problems. I think we have to kick as much off the federal plate as possible, give it back to the states. Our state governments are not as paralyzed. We have to find ways to bring private industry in to solve more problems. Now, up until a year or two ago, I was always saying, I think like Silicon Valley could find ways for people to take care of their health needs without even having to go to a hospital. There's all kinds of things we can do without even doctors. We don't trust Silicon Valley as much now as we did a year or two ago, unfortunately. But that would be an example of ways to take problems off of the federal plate and get them solved elsewhere. Then we really have to look at what's happening to education and child rearing, because for all our problems now, the next generation, that is the kids being raised now, the kids in college now, are even less prepared to engage in the democratic process of debate and dialogue with people they disagree with. So it's sort of like, one of these things like a Harry Houdini escape, where, okay, he's got all these problems and he's locked he's handcuffed and now we're gonna light this rope on fire, so he only has, a short amount of time before he can get out. But I think that we will find ways to change education. I think the mental health crisis is so severe. The rising rates of depression, anxiety, and suicide are so severe that I think they're going to cause some major rethinking. So I don't know what's going to give, but I think that we will find solutions to some of these problems.